Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, this is going to be the video that's going to be very brief. It's about quality degradation, bias infects, manufacturing oversight, which when you come to Boeing, that is a very truism, so to speak. Boeing is in bed with ANSI-ANAP. They push ANSI-ANAP, the American National Standards Institute, and the American National Crediting Board. ANSI took over complete control over ANAP in 2018. Boeing sits on their board. And they sit on ANAP's board that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. I've never seen anything ever get suspended unless it was lack of payment. They're also sitting there on ANSI-ANAP's board by the FAA. And the FAA in 2009 made Boeing a regulator. So how can one regulator watch over the other regulator? I've heard Mr. David Calhoun in many videos say, and our regulator, the FAA, rather than being proud, because he was on their board in 2009 when the FAA came in and made Boeing a regulator for the FAA, rather than being proud, he was made, just by default, he was made an FAA administrator because Boeing is an FAA regulator. So when it talks about MCAS system and you hear about 50 rivets missing, that the pride in being, the prestigious pride of being a FAA regulator did not soak into the guy upstairs. And I don't mean God. I'm talking about the CEO, like, you figure McNerney, who was the beginner of the system of being an FAA regulator. He was the first one. And then his predecessor, Dennis Muhlenberg, okay, he didn't take any pride in it. In fact, he was laying off, and so were they, laying off a lot of people because even though he's an engineer, they're also bean counters. They also have pressures, shareholder pressures. Well, when one of the shareholders' planes goes down, then let's find out what's going on. Unbelievable. And then you have David Calhoun, who makes an excuse about our regulator, the FAA. And no, he is wrong. David Calhoun is absolutely incorrect because in 2009, when he sat on the board, the FAA made them a regulator. So I guess he figured, let that be up to Dennis Muhlenberg. He never thought that, I guess, they were going to get rid of Muhlenberg. And they did. And then he became the CEO. And you see him on camera all the time, talking about their regulator, FAA has a robust system that they're going to implement. He should have, as the CEO and as the administrator of the FAA, i.e. Boeing, he should have been prideful enough and gone down on the floor instead of going out playing golf. Okay, I believe in downtime, but when you are made a regulator by the federal government, okay, there's very few businesses ever that were made a regulator that it's as if that agency was in your facility. Well, that agency sat in Boeing. Boeing was and is the FAA since 2009. You also have, in 2002, the supplier bulletin that basically what the FAA did for Boeing, Boeing did for their suppliers. If you have an AS9100 certificate from ANSI-ANAP accredited registrar, then just send us the certificate, send us your parts, and we do not have to send in any sort of inspection to your facility. I'm going to leave it here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time. My telephone number 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS @yahoo.com. Thank you.